Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. Taylor, I was waiting for the S review.
Sorry, I know. I need to pick up. I need to get on my game.
Wake up.
Review here on FANVERSATION. You're right. This episode just really did me in. Like, I'm ready to talk about it. I'm just trying to cut to the chase.
All right. Well, this is Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION, the only SVU video podcast, the longest running SVU after show, and the only place to find me and Taylor and usually Felicia discussing SVU. This is season 11, episode 2, Sugar, one of our favorite episodes.
Truly.
Which is a weird thing that I say almost every week. Before we jump in, if you are new here, welcome. First and foremost, we have a hotline for anyone who might need help. Please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, I hear that spells something.
It does. It spells hope. Very easy to remember.
Great. Also, if you're new here, you may not know that sometimes the show goes dark and we as a show go the opposite. So consider this your content warning. I feel like this episode may result in Yael saying something inappropriate.
Listen, this episode is so unhinged in every way. There's no way to not go there. It's just not going to happen.
That is fair. Also, stay tuned on this episode. At the end of the show, we have some announcements, just a few announcements, a little bit of a contesty thing that we're doing. We'll just stay. Good.
You won't regret it. Stay.
Good. This episode again, season 11, episode 2, Sugar. Here is the quick cap. The body of an online call girl is found in a suitcase, and the prime suspect of her murder is an internet entrepreneur who was one of her sugar daddies. I don't know who wrote this, but I disagree.
Yeah, you can't fully encompass what this episode is in just a small summary like that, because it has parts, it has acts, it has layers. It is truly just art in its purest form.
Absolutely. We have Jasmine in the chat. Welcome, who says one of my favorite episodes. Same. Honestly, same. I love this episode so much. My notes are very sparse because I was just like sitting back and enjoying. I love this performance from Eric McCormack, who is, I would say, best known from Will and Grace. If you are a sci-fi fan, he is the star of 3 Seasons of Travelers, which is a quality time travel show and very much on brand for me. But also, yes, he was from Will and Grace. I want to start with the geocaching portion of this.
We must, because we simply must.
So first of all, do you remember when geocaching was a thing?
Not really. I found out about it from this show, and then I've seen it like mentioned other times in pop culture and people talking about it. I'm like, I know what that is, and it's because of this. This is how I discovered it. Yes. And I feel really smart whenever I like know the definition of it.
What's so funny is when I was in high school, so many years ago, I know I was 16 because I could drive. A friend of mine used to do, I think it was geocaching, but it was done a little bit differently, and it was a lot more complex than this show makes it seem to be, because this show, right, what we see in this episode, their geocaching is like clue is released online and then they follow the coordinates and like have to find the thing. And what my friend used to do, and again, maybe I'm wrong and it's not geocaching, was more of a treasure hunt with clues and riddles and puzzles and things like that.
I feel like that's it, and they just had to simplify it for the sake of the story and time here. Sure. I'm assuming.
Because the other time that I've oddly seen geocaching recently is on there's a Netflix movie called, I think, Finding Ohana.
You got there eventually.
Something. It's weird because I had merch from them in the thing and I took it off, so I was looking for it. Anyway, not the point. In that there is geocaching, and that is a movie from this year, and I went, I don't think this is still a thing, guys. I think this is.
I think that I saw on Shark Tank, because I love Shark Tank, by the way. Little known fact about me.
That is fun.
But there was someone pitching like a geocaching business where they would like have it for company retreats in different cities and things like that. So, and I don't know when that like aired or whatever, but I remember seeing that episode recently. So it's still in the cultural zeitgeist. You know, it's still out there.
I'm shocked. I hope anyone watching this is like, geocaching's dead. I hope someone tells us whether it's dead or alive.
Caching's dead. Yeah. Exactly.
But anyway, so our geocachers, who are perhaps the real stars of this episode.
That's true. That's not even a debate. Like, that's just facts.
Lead us to the one, the only masturbator.
Not a masturbator. The masturbator. And I hope everyone has seen the bloopers from that episode. Yeah, what? Okay, there are bloopers. We didn't have many from SVU. Yes, we'll tweet this out because it's a gift. It's a gift, and I would love to give it to all of you if you haven't seen it. But yes, there are bloopers from this scene, the masturbator scene, and so I always think about that when I see this.
I cannot wait. I will say, hysterically, the masturbator is played by Orange is the New Black star Abigail Savage, who is also Sister Nina. And the reason it's so funny is because we had just done a question about your favorite Orange is the New Black stars being on SVU, and someone said the Sister Nina episodes, and I was like, she's not Sister Nina, she's the
masturbator. Come on, let's get it right now.
Jasmine in the chat says there was also a term where people are downloading this app and it gives them a destination, they go and they find mysterious items. Interesting. Thank you, Jasmine, coming in with the facts. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, okay. I see there's rumors of this blooper reel, which we will share on our social, and we'll tell you where to find that at the end, especially if you're not looking directly at us, because it's right in front of you. All right. So the masturbator did not put a body in a bag, but these geocachers do find a body in a suitcase, and it belongs to Emily Keefe, which leads us on a ridiculous run around with her boyfriend and her parents.
Owen. On the boat, from the boat.
I love when he was like, you're supposed to ask to come aboard.
Oh my God, he was such a funny character, and I love how he jumps in the boat and blow up and just shoots it just immediately. I'm like, you did not think this through. But that's not his forte, you can tell. He doesn't think much through. No thoughts, head empty with Owen.
What's funny is Owen ran because of the drugs, and I almost wanted when he was being interrogated and they were like, you killed her. I really wanted to be like, I can explain and I can alibi that I did not kill her, but you have to not charge her. Like,
I was smoking. Like,
I was smuggling drugs. So
there's my alibi, right, but you can't get me on that. All right.
Yeah. Like, I'm a mule. So, yeah. That leads us on to this other path about her new boyfriend, whom she met through a dating app. I think what's odd is...
Can I say the name of it, please?
Wait, hold on. It took until Elliot was on the date to put together what this site was, what it's in the name.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This aired in season 12? Was that 11. Like a big thing? Yeah. Was that like a big thing that people knew as much? I don't know. I was a bit too young.
Tell us the name of this app or website.
TastySugar.com.
Yes. At what point was it not clear that this is a sugar daddy site?
I know, but like they didn't know. They like barely even knew what a sugar daddy was.
That's the thing is, I also don't believe they know 100% what a sugar daddy is. I think that the fact that they didn't put together that sugar daddies have gone digital. Like that's what I think the disconnect was, that they're so tech unsavvy that they weren't able to understand.
But I do want to point out that I should have looked up the character's name, but our little tech girl who figured out the location of the guard barn and everything, I love her and I want her here more. She was great.
Let me get us a name for this.
Yes.
Because you're right. She was great.
She was wonderful.
I
love our Taru people.
Yes. Do we have
English, please? That's like always the line when they say something they don't understand.
Well, yeah,
that's English.
That's how you tell a tech person, hey,
not tech.
Explain this to the audience.
Exactly.
I believe the character is Anu Nair. Yes, that was her name. The actress is I lost it. Hold on. I don't know how to say her name. Sai or Say Lang. S-A-I, last name Lang. Yep, she was great, and I believe that was her. She's a repeat offender, guys.
Oh.
She returns. She's a media tech. She returns.
Interesting.
Same character.
I love that. Well, bring her back for more. She's great.
Yeah, good for her. I liked her. She was fun. Awesome. So I lost my notes. Where are they? I have too many tabs open.
Vance Shepard's a sugar daddy.
Yes. So right before that, we go on this date. I have to give this shout out because I think it's so funny. So the girl that Elliot goes on the date with, her BFF.
Hi, I'm Pamela.
Her BFF is played by Eloise Mumford. Eloise Mumford recently was starring in The Right Stuff. She was Vanessa, was her name. And she has gone on and done a lot of stuff. And I interviewed her recently and did not put together that she is this girl. And then I'm sitting there watching the scene. And I was like, why does this face look so familiar?
Because if you would have known, you would have asked her about it. And I know that for certain. Yes.
I don't know if people know this. When I get to interview talent that has been on SVU, I will bring up their episode. There's a really great clip of me talking to Lily Reinhardt.
So that's cool. Riverdale. But like, tell me about why not? The why not scene in SVU.
Right. Sure. You're the star of Riverdale. Let's talk about SVU.
However, Lost Traveler. Let's talk about that, shall we?
Yes, that's me. If you want to see that interview, by the way, it's on this YouTube channel. Anyway, where were we? All right, so we go on this date with Vanessa. We find out about this other guy who said he liked her so much he'd buy the company. I'm going to be honest. When I'm looking for a sugar daddy, that's the kind of power I want from a sugar daddy. Yeah, I want him to like me so much he's going to buy the company I work for.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? We're not playing games here. We're going all the way. Because that's what Vance Shepard does.
That is what Vance Shepard does. And, he does not like ties.
I love it. This is a no tie zone. The fact that he does that arm movement. I remember I introduced my friend to SVU watching this episode because I was like, it has everything. Like, you're gonna love it. And she did. She ended up loving it. But we would just text each other, this is a no tie zone, with the emoji where that guy's like crossing his arms like this constantly. And so when they said that, I was like, I feel like I'm a sophomore in high school again.
I think that is hilarious. And now I wonder if that is merch we need to make.
No ties. Oh, I'd buy that. I mean, of course I would, because I, host this, but I would absolutely buy that.
All right, well.
We should put it on a tie. Hello.
All right, well, I will see what I can do about that. Note has been made. So I really enjoy the culture. A lot of times when we watch a show, we'll see something and they'll be like, this is this type of community. And we'll be like, wow, that's wrong. Showing this office where there are the scooters, no ties, food, apartments, all of these things. I was like, this is real.
As someone who works at a startup, yes.
Right. As someone
got it.
Who came to Los Angeles from San Francisco, from the startup world, Yeah, the boss playing literal games in the office. 100%.
Yeah.
My friends working at companies that their apartment is covered because they just had leftover apartments that they rented. Yeah.
Casual.
Yeah.
Very casual.
So I loved that. And I think that this performance was great. And this was very believable. And the idea of a character who would just be like, I'm going to just buy up these companies.
He doesn't even know which ones he owns.
Right.
Cracks me up. Do I own that one? Acquired it 3 months ago. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It kind of made me wonder who his team was, because if he clearly didn't do the like paperwork on the purchase,
no.
So where is his team?
We only know Lizette.
Let's talk about Lizette and her impressive rank.
Stop! I have so many quotes from that conversation. Sonia Paxton, just everything to me. She is horrible, and I love it. I live for it.
I really like this character. Because you get it. She likes what she does. She likes where she works, and she's been treated with respect. And like, I get it. If I had a boss who was willing to like cover whatever I needed, sure, give me that shirt. I got you covered.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, she's wonderful.
I do want to point something out, though. It goes back to earlier with Emily Keefe. It's funny because Felicia and I were literally just discussing the other day that there are episodes every once in a while that don't actually involve a sex crime. This is one of them.
Yeah, that's a good. I didn't even put that together, but you're so right. She's naked in the suitcase. That's literally it.
And she wasn't assaulted. She had just had sex.
No. Yeah. We're going to ignore that. It's a great episode anyway.
It's funny because we also, Warner isn't in this episode. Her name is, but she is not herself there. So I was like, that seems so odd. And then I went, oh, because the body's dead and there's no sex crime. Like, we don't really need her.
Nah, we don't. She said, I'm not coming in for this.
Yeah, we can see how the body died.
Yeah, that's all we need from this.
Yeah, so I just thought it was an interesting note because literally Felicia and I were just talking about.
But when it's like a less good episode, you realize that, and when it's not, you're like, oh, I didn't even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. This isn't their case, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll like harp on it if I didn't like the episode. If I did, I'll be like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's fiction.
Jasmine says the only sex crime is using your business to get laid. I will point out, though, that as Stabler tells Sonia, that's a Vice issue, not a special victims issue. SVU has never cared about prostitution in a way that Vice would, because SVU understands that sex work is work. Which, let's talk about that whole conversation. Because I love Benson's like, oh, because I'm a woman, we have to agree on this. I love that because it's true. A lot of women disagree. And a lot of, there's a lot of discussion about sex work, legal sex work, and, different things like sugar baby versus prostitution versus, as Finn says, just dating, like there are different levels.
And I think that's like an interesting distinction too, because it also kind of brings up like the class issue of all of it and how that always impacts everything. Cause like, obviously Sonia is not for any of this, but the fact that societally, I would say overall, there's more not prestige, but like respect almost given to someone who's like a sugar baby or an escort or whatever, things like that, rather than someone who isn't making as much money from it and is doing it not in a fancy hotel, which I think is really interesting too. Like there's a lot of class and things like that kind of goes into what everyone views as acceptable and, an actual profession and whatnot.
Yeah. I think it plays really, timely into our current world. where a lot of sex work has translated, especially during actual pandemic times, has translated to online, and we have stuff like OnlyFans.
Now,
well, they recently, flipped back, being like,
Exactly.
sure, we'll allow sex.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I knew they were like, no more of this. It's like, you're an idiot. Like, you are so dumb.
So and again, we are not experts on this, but from what I understand, the argument was because credit cards have decided to make a statement. So credit cards are, so like, I think MasterCard decided that you cannot use them for porn sites and stuff like that. And they're
really,
yes,
I did not know that.
The reason they've made this statement is because these sites are not regulating and doing quality control to make sure that it isn't abuse or children. And I think that is a reasonable, well, on the surface, everybody means well, right? On the surface, the credit card companies are going, well, if you're not going to make sure that there isn't child pornography, then we're not going to let you use us. And you go, yeah, that makes sense. But then there's like then it opens a whole can of worms of who's monitoring and it's not being monitored. How do you monitor and all that?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting and really layered conversation, because I didn't realize that was like part of it, but that is there's always gray area to everything like that.
Right. The whole thing is a big can of worms, and there's a lot more to it. And the big challenge is that we as people who are not involved in the discussion or employees of the site or even, may not participate in the site, whatever. I'm removed from this. So as an outsider, the only information that I can get is the headline, OnlyFans removes sex from site. And that doesn't give you the whole context of the story. And the biggest issue is that OnlyFans literally was built on selling sex, which is what it's for, which is what it should continue to be for.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. These are things that if you would like to learn more about, we're not the place for that.
No. We'll bring it up, but then do your own research. Yeah.
Yeah. Do your own research. We are not I would say we're not an educational podcast.
No. We're a clown podcast. Am I wrong?
No.
No.
No. Anyway, where were we? Lizette's rack.
Even after he brought you that very impressive rack.
It was.
Like, why lie? Why lie right now?
Anyway, we get to a point where we meet Chantal, his daughter. I love when she's covering for him and her mom was like, no.
Oh my God, Chantal is a character.
Yeah.
Also, the name Chantal here just really puts it even more over the edge for me.
Oh, yeah?
It's just a rich person name, I think. Chantal. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's French, is it not?
I don't know. I'm not a linguist.
It's
just a surprising name to me. But it makes sense.
So the actress who plays Chantal is Melissa Farman, and I bring this up because she was just on an episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is a show that I absolutely love. And I was like, why do I know this girl's face?
It's Chantal.
And then I looked at her and I went, oh my God, she's Chantal. I know exactly who she is.
Gotcha. Yes.
Funny story. She also was in an episode of Perception, which starred Eric McCormack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's cute.
That is cute.
Yeah. So
I wonder if she scissored him. Not scissored. Whoa, that kid sounded so wrong. Stabbed him with scissors in that show.
Taylor.
I'm so sorry. It just came out and without me meaning to say that.
Yeah, I was
what I mean? Because the verb of knife is knifed, so I was like scissored, but like that obviously has implications. That's not what I meant to say. I meant stab with scissors.
I love that part. Honestly, it's so weird, but I absolutely love the part where she scissors him.
Stop. It came out. I couldn't catch them. I couldn't put them back in.
That was great. That was the best.
This is what
I absolutely love that part because the like motivation makes sense this entire time. This poor girl whose parents are going through this vicious divorce, like
her mom. Whoa, she is something else.
Yeah,
I mean, so was her dad, but her mom. I was like, whoa.
Zach agrees. That was the best.
Zach, don't do this to me. Is that merch?
No.
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 We have an orgasm prescription, yeah. I mean, we draw the line at scissoring. I feel it's homophobic to me.
No, here's where we draw the line. At my ability to make the merch that I see in my head. And what I see in my head to make that scissoring joke does not, I can't physically do it. I'm not a designer.
It's just a pair of scissors with that quote on it.
With which quote?
She scissored him.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to sell as well as you think. In my mind, we see a scissor sticking out of a neck. Anyway, not the point. And it says, is this scissoring?
Is this scissoring? I love that, actually. That's even better.
Okay, where were we? So that's where we draw the line, is that I can't physically make what I see.
Okay, I'll allow it. I will allow it.
Anyway, so she scissored him because he's always broken his promises, and he promised that he would cover for her and take the blame. And honestly, I understand her upset in this part.
Daddy, I did something real bad.
Right. The truth is, this girl, unlike one of my favorite older episodes where the little boy kills a little boy and then Kyle MacLachlan says, the difference between me and him is that I will not kill again. This girl will definitely kill again. Oh,
no question in my mind. She's unhinged. Mm-hmm. She is just like, I don't like her. She smiled at me. she's gone. She's done. Yeah, no, she will kill again.
Oh my God.
No doubt in my mind.
You just reminded me of okay. You just reminded me of an episode. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Where were we? What were we talking about this?
Who knows? We're so off the rails at this point. It's not even, there's no getting this train back on the tracks.
Okay. Should we get to best lines?
Yeah. Because I have 26 of them.
All right, let's do this.
Am I going? Is this like Masterpiece Theater? Like me just reading on these lines? Okay. So we'll start at the masturbators scenes. Girls, we're both pretty.
Oh my God, I love that. And I've started saying that to people.
Girls, we're both pretty. The amount of sass that Olivia unleashed in this episode was something else.
Oh, before we
continue. And she looks great.
Jasmine says, I thought Chantal would be killing more women because how much she wanted her dad's love and he was giving it to these women. That's a very interesting point. Yeah.
Lizette, you're next. I can see her killing Lizette just for the vibes. Yeah, for the vibes of it all.
How dare
There's no way she was the treasure. I love that. And I love that the fact that treasure is literally like yo-yos, a little soccer balls, and thumbtacks. Because it's not about that. It's about the thrill of being FTF, first to find, of course.
I absolutely love when Benson was like, I mean, we found this junk.
Like, they're like, that's it. That's the one. It's the treasure. Of course, not a masturbator, the masturbator. I think we all knew that was going to be there. We said it before, but I'm happy to say it again. I saw every nook, cranny, and 10-pound rat. I thought that was wonderful. I loved that whole character. I just love how she's like famous in the geocaching world, but she just works at Garb Barn because that's relatable right there. Like anyone on the internet where people think they're like rich and famous, and it's like you work at like Panera Bread or something, which I'm pulling from my own experience. I've worked at Panera Bread before. Not that I think anyone thinks I'm famous. I'm just saying.
Or rich.
Or rich. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm definitely not rich. Some girls like bad boys. I just like love that. That just feels like a very SVU line to me. Some girls like bad boys. I was smoking a joint. I got scared. It's valid. Olivia like really did not let Owen breathe for 1 second, like at all. He was like, I don't know what he said exactly, but she said, you're going to talk, threaten to ruin your fun employment, come down and ruin your good time. Just the way she says that line kills me every time. Coming down and threaten to ruin your good time. I love that. I love the fact that she has a $1,000 vase and a yard sale end table. I was like, that's relatable content.
I do like that scene where they're looking through her apartment and they're like, she doesn't know what she's doing.
No. And I also love, this isn't a line, but the part where they think it's blood and then Elliot like scoops up with his finger and he's like sniffs it. I'm like, that's first of all gross, but okay. And it's just jam. And then Tank licks it right off his finger. I love Tank. He was the star of this episode. Him and the geocachers.
Tank was one of my favorite parts, but also I like tiny dogs. So
yeah, he was cute. I like how they describe it as social networking with a romantic twist. Like, okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Social networking with a romantic twist.
That's a dating site. Go on.
Yeah. AVU is strictly a no-tie zone. We talked about that, but it's wonderful. I loved the whole montage where they're interviewing the people that he spoke to that day when they're like trying to track his movements, because they film it so weird to me, but I love it too, where they're like looking directly at the camera and like adding a little something each time to what question. Like my favorite was the trainer. He's like, yeah, he was here. Not that he needs it. He should be training me. I was just like, that is so weird. That's such a weird thing to say. I loved it.
I miss those types of montages.
Me too.
That is like old school SVU.
Yeah. It was just I just loved it. Like they were walking right at the camera when they all said it. It was so funny to me. The only important thing he needs to do is be a prick. It's like, whoa, get him. I loved that.
Who is that one about?
It was the ex-wife talking about Vance.
Oh, right.
Which, oh yeah, we also need to talk about how she had a double mastectomy, just like out of the blue.
I think that when Angelina Jolie did that, it sparked a lot of people to start.
It's honestly, I actually don't want to like say anything bad about that because I like get that, but the fact that she played it up and like she wanted to be sick, like that was the part. Like actually having the decision to have that, I have no qualms with that. I think that's very valid. But
I think what's interesting, she didn't have the gene. So here's my
right.
Again, we are not experts. My knowledge of this gene comes from the Bolt type. And
same.
And like I understand having the gene and being like, that means that there's a very high chance and doing this prematurely. I think what's interesting is Vance being like, she had this, she did this early. She was freaking out. And then Stabler being, oh, she had the gene. Him going, no, she did not.
She literally didn't. Yeah, she was a little out there.
Yeah.
I don't know who the defense attorney is, but he's great. And the way he delivers the line, "Your dead girl certainly looked alive leaving my client's building," lives in my head rent free.
Is Stanich is the lawyer, played by Robert Klein. He's great. He's a very
the way he delivers the line, just the phrase "dead girl," really is hilarious to me. She got what was in his wallet. He got what was in her pants. Sonia Paxton.
Yeah, that's how this.
I just love, like, she really simplified it for us.
I mean, that, like Finn says, that is just, you've defined relationship.
Yeah, well, that's true. She's some kind of entrepreneur?
This whole scene, I think you're just reading the Paxton lines.
Yes, I am. Because they're so mean.
But the rest of what is being said back to her, that whole interaction, hold on, I've got it, because it was somebody, hold on. I've got you. Am I looking at the wrong episode? Hold on.
Oh, do you want me to say another Sonia line while we're here?
Yes.
Okay. Your double D alibi here is getting pretty shaky. It's so mean. It's so uncalled for, but it's so funny.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. I'm pulling this up.
Lizette just like bluntly saying that lady scared me. I was like, me too. You and me both. You and me both. She's terrifying.
I think that was the best part of the her arriving with the thing was, yeah, because Sonia's terrifying.
She's terrifying. I love the Sonia Elliott fight in this because it's so aggressive and quick. And so there's a lot of lines from that, but he calls her a sanctimonious bitch. And I was like, holy shit, we're going there. And then they hun each other a lot, which I think is just gold. Hun, I was like, that is so petty. I'm living for it.
I love the part where Cragen tries to stop it for a second and
Elliott's
like, no, and he goes after her.
Hun.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. You do know there's no smoking in this building. What are you gonna do? Bust me?
Yeah.
He's just crazy. And then let's go ahead and get to Chantal's lines. He took the blame. That proves my daddy loves me. Okay, does it? Okay. I love.
Is that what I should talk to my father about? Be like, listen, if I ever murdered someone, would you take blame?
Would you take the blame for me? She goes She goes so below the belt and says to Olivia, maybe your daddy never loved you. And Olivia just goes, you're right, he didn't. I was like, whoa.
I mean,
this is a lot. I mean, it's true, but just the way that she just, it's like, we're not playing games. I'm going to tell you how it is. That was crazy.
You don't have the Ballad of the Loving John?
No, I was saving that one for you. I had 26 already. I had to pare it back a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry too, Daddy, even for this. Scissors.
Okay.
And then finally, we have to add the final line. You'll never break another promise to me.
Yeah.
He won't. You're absolutely right. He won't do that. Yeah. Just whoever wrote this, like, you need a retroactive Emmy because this was everything to me.
I have one. It's I get it. So if it's a back alley hand job for $5, she's a hooker, right? But if it's 5 G's a month and all the shoes she could buy, that's some kind of what? Entrepreneur?
Yeah, the entrepreneur line is great.
It's so good.
It's brilliant.
Newsflash: Vice handles prostitution.
Yeah. Just so you know.
And the writer of this episode, who should get the credit, is Daniel Truly.
Daniel, you're a legend, my dude. An absolute legend.
He wrote quite a few, actually.
Which other ones? Are they my favorites? Are me and Daniel's gonna have to have coffee or something? Probably, because this is exactly what I want when I watch.
Bombshell.
Yeah. God, yes.
I mean, there are more, but like
we share a soul. We share a soul.
Yeah. Oh.
We share a soul. I love Bombshell.
Daniel Truly also wrote.
Stop.
Babes.
Stop, Daniel. Daniel, I'm gonna have to find his Twitter and just be like, you are everything to me.
All right. Well.
Wow.
Oh, there's still more, guys. We're not even close to done. This episode was, in fact, ripped from the headlines. Or at least portion of it was. Let me tell you.
Was it scissored from the headlines?
It was not. But that's about to become our thing, isn't it?
Yes.
This is ripped from the headline of the murder of Jasmine Fiore. Jasmine Fiore was a model from Santa Cruz, California. Her body was discovered on August 15th, 2009. She was strangled and stuffed into a suitcase. Her remains were mutilated to prevent recognition. She was eventually identified by the serial number in her breast implants. Fiore was 28 years old at the time of her death. Her husband, a former reality TV contestant, Ryan Alex Jenkins, was the only suspect and formally charged with the murder. August 23rd, 2009, he was found dead in a hotel room in British Columbia, Canada. He was 32. So if you'd like more information about that story, that is the murder of Jasmine Fiore, you can go check that out. Yeah, because that was where it inspired this episode, allegedly.
Wow.
Yeah. Interestingly, because this episode came out September 30th, 2009.
Oh, that's very quick after.
That is a very quick after. Which makes me believe it even more.
Yeah.
All right. So it's time for the weekly poll.
It sure is. So last week, posed the question.
What was the question?
What was your favorite episode with a guest star before they were a series regular?
Ooh, yeah.
Because we watched the Casey Novak before she was Casey Novak episode. And this was interesting. So you guys suck. And 14% of you said other, and yet no one commented what other. So, okay.
Instead of other, they meant none of these.
Okay, that's fair, but you should have said that, and you didn't. So you guys all really let me down. It's fine. I'll get over it.
Okay.
We have a tie for, I guess, second place with Ridicule, which is the one we discussed, the one with Diane Neal, and Outsider, which is the one with Kelly Giddish before she was Amanda Rollins. Very interesting that Monsters Legacy with Peter Scanavino won, because that's not my favorite episode. But okay, I guess it's your guys's. So cool. That's the end of that poll. This week, moving on, this week we are asking what your favorite episode where a parent covers for their kid is. This is going to be interesting. So we currently have a tie for third with Control, which is season 5, episode 9. Yael, remind us which one that is.
What did I say that one was? Hold on.
Is that the I Won't Kill Again episode?
No. Control is the one. Okay, yeah. It's the one where the girl was held captive. Benson feels bad that she forgot that, or she didn't believe this girl, that she was held captive in a dungeon and forced to wear a wedding dress and marry this guy. And at the end of the episode, the guy is murdered. And the question is whether she did it or her mother did it.
Right. That's a good episode.
It's a great episode. Yes.
Good episode. We have Sin, which is season 8, episode 17. Yeah, you're also the one that suggested that.
Yes. This is the one where he's a priest or pastor. I don't know the difference.
Yeah.
He's a clergy member with a religious family, and his son is gay. His son's lover is murdered. And so he thinks he's covering for his son. His son thinks he's covering for his dad for murdering the lover. And then I think it turns out to be the mom, played by Kathy Baker.
That's actually really interesting. I remember that one vaguely, but I need to rewatch because I'm like, oh, wow, what an interesting synopsis. I've seen it, but I should see it again. We then have Sugar, which we just discussed, absolute gem of an episode. And the last one we have is Pop, season 12, episode 11, which, if you'll remember, there was one very similar to this last season too, but it's the one where, isn't it like the stepfather's beating the kid up and then we don't know if the kid or the kid's mom killed him? Something like that. Yeah,
so the stepfather is taking the kid to a fight club.
Yes.
And he's abusing the mom.
Yes.
So it's a question, he ends up getting shot, and it's a question of whether the kid or the mom shot him. So during our discussion today, when I went on my brain fart because I remembered another episode, it's because I remembered another one that would work for the poll.
Well, I said comment below if it's not listed. So which one are you thinking of?
Okay, so I'm thinking of it is Vanity's Bonfire, which has Scott Bakula, and the character is what I remember is Dia Nobile, and it's the one where Scott Bakula's wife, played by Jessica Hecht, is too weak to like hold the pitcher, and then it seems that the crystal that killed Dia Nobile was actually by the daughter, and Olivia takes the daughter and like they let the mom go to jail, the mom who's dying go to jail to save the girl.
That's right. Yes, I remember that one too. That was like what, season 14 or something?
This episode is season 14, episode 7.
Yeah. Got those seasons right here.
Yeah.
Not much else, but I have that.
I have episode storylines. Just swarming.
See, that's good. We work as a pair. You got the storylines. You're like, I actually remember what happened in the show. And I'm like, I don't, but I know what season.
And you can tell me the episode title.
Yeah, I could. That's very true. I could do that.
All right. We'll tell you where to find that poll in just a minute. It is time for What Did We Learn? I'm not.
Here's the thing. I didn't learn anything this episode because I've seen it so many times. I didn't learn anything new. I'm trying to think of what I would have learned when I watched it the first time. This is one of my most rewatched episodes.
Oh, interesting. I learned that it was ripped from a headline. I didn't know that.
That's true. I didn't know that either. I learned that there was not a sex crime. I guess like in the back of my head I knew that, but then you pointed that out and I was like, you're absolutely right. There wasn't. Yeah. So that's what I learned.
If you're watching us live, what did you learn?
Yeah, please let me know.
And hopefully, I mean, although we say that we're not an educational podcast, we do learn shit every time.
I learned what geocaching was the first time I watched it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys so much for letting me know.
All right. Couple announcements before we wrap things up. For those who somehow have missed it, we're now selling ridiculous merch. Current products include a Slammin' Pair of Jeans onesie, yes, a Orgasms prescribed t-shirt or pillow or whatever you want. And
here's the thing. You buy the pillow one first, and then you buy the onesie one. I
see.
I've never been so explicit on a podcast before today. What have you done to me?
I'm so proud.
What have you done to me?
You could also get our third one, which is the Justice for Snowball.
I don't know how that fits in everything, but you can get that one too.
Yeah. That one is available on t-shirts and stickers as well. I will say this about the Justice for Snowball design. I think I'm subtle. I don't know if you've looked at the design, but the dog is standing in like a blue background that looks like water.
How rude and uncalled for and sick and twisted that was of you.
I was like, is this too subtle or is it not subtle? I don't know.
It's now that you pointed out, I can't unsee it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
If you would like to find that merch, there is a link below. We're going to add more, and here is what we're going to do, because we love these ridiculous ideas. And here's what we're doing. As you know, we are available on YouTube to watch live Sundays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We are also on iTunes and I believe any platform where you listen to podcasts. If we are not on a platform where you listen to podcasts, please let us know. And I will either figure out how to do that or go, this is impossible, and not do it. One of those two things.
I'll keep you updated on what it is.
Yeah, but it's one of those two options. That said,
yeah,
we are on iTunes, and on iTunes, you can leave us a rating and a review. What we've always said, even when we were on a previous network, is that if you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. But if you give us 4 stars, please tell us how we can improve.
And then 1 through 3, I don't think they work. I don't think you can push 1 through 3 for some odd reason.
Yeah, no, those are broken.
They're broken.
But I do have actually, interestingly, 2 comments on iTunes that I don't know if we've read them before, but I'm going to read them now. From iTunes. These are from November of 2020, so almost a year ago. I will say I did read them before. I just never read them on the show, but I think that's a thing we're going to start doing, is we're going to keep an eye on iTunes and we'll read them on the show.
And maybe even in an accent or something.
Maybe we'll do something fun with them. But I'm going to say this. If you write us a comment or a review on iTunes, we used to do this cool thing where Lauren used to try to do emojis live. She would try to be the emoji. We might try something like that. But more importantly, if you have an idea for something that should be on merch, put that there.
Please.
Yeah, and we will share those and maybe even make some of them. But I want to read these reviews, and I thought since last episode, everyone seemed to like what you all called my phone sex voice. I thought I would read these.
Where is this going? I'm ready.
I'd read these reviews in that voice.
Okay. I love that. Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, you should prepare me. You put my pen on. God.
That's what where did you think this is going?
I don't know.
Okay. So this is a negative review that I'm going to read.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Love it.
So the topic is, great topic, gargled sound. Great topic, gargled sound. I love SVU. I've been listening to you guys since you were on AfterBuzz. Been looking for you guys to get back at it, but the sound quality is rough. It's worse when you guys all talk at once. Hard to enjoy next to other podcasts that I consume that have great sound. Praying it gets better.
That's valid. I mean, we don't have a super fancy setup. Like I said, like we discussed, we're not rich, unfortunately. If you'd like to change that, drop our Venmo. I'm just kidding.
Buy merch.
Buy merch. Yeah, if you want to change that, buy merch. That's valid though. But thank you for telling us that, actually, because now we know that we can try to fix it.
Yeah. All right. And
we love constructive criticism.
Yeah. Like I said, if you give us 4 stars, tell us why.
Yeah.
And I do hope that person came back, because I do think we did get better.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, here's a positive review from Carly. After watching the first episode of season 22, I was in search of a discussion and happened upon this podcast. What a pleasant surprise. The banter was refreshing. The insight was helpful in processing a difficult episode. Learning that Melody Cooper is now in the writer's room was everything, and explained to me how our anger, honestly, it got cut off, and I don't know what happens after that.
I don't think we should talk about that. Phone sex voice. But it's okay. It was the bit, and we had to stick with it. But thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that review. I will tell people the review only shows me about 4 lines. So if you write more than that, I can't see it.
Make sure you say what you really want to get out in the first 4 lines.
Yeah. If you want me to read things in phone sex voice, I'm happy to do so.
Please, for my sake, let's let her do it.
Yeah, happy to read reviews in that. If that is, in fact, what it was. You all liked it.
It was.
All right. That's it. That's the show.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, so please leave us ratings, reviews on iTunes. We'll read them on the air. Either I'll read them like that, or we'll do something. We'll find a way to read them. We would love your merch ideas. Maybe we'll do a contest. I feel like we should do a contest that results in people getting merch.
I like that.
Yeah.
We'll think of something.
We'll figure it out. But until then, suggest ideas, ratings, reviews on iTunes. Taylor, where are you? And where can everyone find you in the poll?
Yeah, you guys can find me and the poll on Twitter at alphabet_, and you can also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I also host When in Forks, a Twilight podcast. We just recorded our movie commentary. You're not ready, so make sure to catch up on all of our book episodes so you can watch that movie with us live. And I also write some articles for a site called Show Snob, where I'm covering 9 Perfect Strangers right now, which is crazy and so fun. So you might like some stuff I write as well, that I will always tweet the links to that. And you can also find the bloopers. I'll tweet those out too for you guys, because they're really great.
Yeah. I am everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. You can find Felicia on Instagram at It's Felicia Michelle. Both she and I on Sundays. Well, this is the last one today, but you can check out on demand on Electric Now, the official Leverage Redemption after show, a very distinctive podcast. If you have watched the first 8 episodes of Leverage Redemption, go check out the after show. We will be back because new episodes drop on October 8th. So that show will be back, and we will have more information about that on the internet. I also have a show on the Hollywood Critics Association YouTube channel called Hollywood Approved, where we ask talent to tell us what they're watching. That's basically it. And then we also fan cast things. And it's a little bit ridiculous. Not as ridiculous as this, but it's a little bit ridiculous.
It's a hard bar to meet.
Yeah. That's it for this episode. Thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat. Jasmine and Zach were here. I saw other people pop in and out. Thank you so much for being here. Next week, we are covering...
we are off next week. Correct.
We are off next week, and then we are covering something. Taylor?
Is it theater tricks?
Theater tricks! That is.
I think it's theater tricks. Yep. Okay.
We're finally covering theater tricks. And then we have one more week, and then we're back with the season premieres. So who knows what we'll be doing then?
It's going to be fun, regardless.
Yeah, it'll be something.
It'll be a show that we host, I'll tell you that much.
Somebody will laugh. Maybe Taylor will scissor someone. That's it for the show. Bye, everybody. Bye.